The uPtake project was established in 2019. The trials are triple replicated plot trials with plots 10 metres long. Each trial follows the same design of 5 different P rates with a nil fertiliser treatment included as a baseline treatment. All P rates receive an NKS basal treatment, as well as the nil P and highest rate of P having an additional treatment without the NKS basal to determine if there is any P response. The basal NKS treatment is applied after each cut and is providing luxury rates of N, K and S to ensure that the only variable to production is the different rates of P. The first site we're looking at is at Andrew McNabb's in Scott River. Andrew is a beef and sheep farmer, and his paddock has very low soil P levels in combination with very low PBI levels. The trial at Andrews was established in 2019 and continued in 2020 to determine not only the annual P requirements, but also to monitor the rate of P rundown over a 3-year period. What we've seen in this footage is a nil fertiliser treatment. We've applied no P, NK or S for the last 2 years. We can see compared to the application of 40 of P over the last 2 years that we are not seeing any visual or measured responses to P at this site. This footage shows that P is not limiting. However, with the addition of NKS basals, we've seen a sharp increase in derived matter production to the tune of 3 tonnes per hectare, indicating that whilst P is not limiting production, another macronutrient, more than likely nitrogen, is limiting. As our rate of P increases with the addition of NKS, we are not seeing a significant increase in pasture production, further highlighting that P is not the limiting factor. In 2019, we saw no response to applied P at any rate. However, we saw a sharp increase in production with the addition of the basal NKS fertiliser. This year's accumulative results back up the findings from 2019, in that we are not seeing any response to P alone. However, there is a trend developing that with the addition of NKS basals, we're starting to see a P response. However, this is not yet significant, and the trial is still in progress for 2020 and hopefully into 2021 to further explore this trend. The second site we're looking at is roughly 10 kilometres away from the McNabb site, Tim Prosser's. This site has very different soil characteristics, with a very high PBI in combination with a low coal P level. As can be seen, there is limited pasture production with no fertiliser applied, as well as when we apply the NKS basals only. However, as soon as we apply the top rate of P with no NKS, which in this trial is 80 kilograms per hectare, we see a very sharp increase in pasture production, indicating that this site is very responsive to P. As we increase our P rates across this site, we can see a very visual as well as measured increase in pasture production. Another interesting observation at this site is that although we are not getting response to basal NK and S without P, as soon as we are removing the limitation of P, we are starting to get a synergistic effect of additional pasture production by adding the NKS basal to the tune of an extra 800 kilograms per hectare of production so far. This trial is still also in progress for 2020. Both of these trials highlight the need to soil test and identify the factors that are limiting pasture production. You then need to address the limiting nutrients in order of priority to ensure that only the correct nutrients are applied at the correct rates, to ensure that not only is money not wasted on applying nutrients that are not needed, but that those nutrients, such as P, are not being over-applied and potentially entering vulnerable waterways and catchments and contributing to environmental issues.